Good morning, everybody. It is day 12 of building the business. And if you got to be involved in yesterday's video, you'll know that on day 11 of building the business, I basically, I was having a breakdown yesterday. And I think that happens to all entrepreneurs, especially if you get multiple ventures involved and you have several different options. We've talked about these. So yesterday I was having a little bit of a meltdown, right? So one thing that leads to this is the constant watching of YouTube videos, right? So if you're watching YouTube videos and you're getting all this different, you're getting advice from all of these places, and you hear something that you should be doing and you're like, I'm messing this up, I'm not doing this right? But you could probably find another YouTube video where somebody else is telling you to do it the opposite way. But nevertheless, yesterday it's kind of having a meltdown, but I'm better today, and I have, I have not gone out and sold everything and moved on to another venture, right? I'm gonna stay the course, right? I've got a plan. I had a strategy. Everything plays in together for me, like for my vacation rental business, right? So I'm gonna have my vacation rental business. I'm gonna have my maintenance services through MVP Pro Services. I'm gonna have my so I'll have my individual portfolio through Martin Vacation Properties. I'll have yet to be named management of other folks' rental properties coming up, and then I'll have my vacation rental software, my back office software, and I'll also have this channel for Host Possible, which is going to be a network. We're going to see where this thing goes to, where it finally lands, and I'm just going to kind of organically I'm not going to make any real concrete plans for Host Possible, right? I got dreams and goals, but I just kind of want to see where it goes. I want to see how it organically grows and where it actually ends up. Does it end up being like a network for just all around travel vacation type channel where we can do stuff for different areas, we can do stuff for people that actually are hosts, we can do all kinds of different things. We might do software, we might do like making dreams come true, we might do investments, we might do all of these things. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes and how that grows organically. So that's, I'm on that. But saying that and going back to the reason why I kind of had that meltdown yesterday, right? In knowing that, the most important thing when you're going to build a business, right? If it's day one of building your business, don't, go out and try to build 4 businesses at one time, right? So because you get into this scenario where you have the track and you're trying to push the boxes around the track and trying to get them over the goal line, across the finish line there, and so that you can reset another goal, and the guy that's got the one box is just pushing and he's just circling you, but that's okay, just depending on your goals, right? And depending on where you want to be. And I think the main thing for me, which brought me way back down to earth yesterday, is like I had mentioned in a previous video about remembering why you're doing what you're doing. Remembering why you're doing what you're doing. That is so important. I can't stress how important it is to get that onto paper, a video. If you have to record yourself telling yourself why you are doing what you're doing, it's something that you can go back to and listen to. But as I'm talking this all out yesterday and just being like, it's like, what am I doing this for in the first place? I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this, I'm creating a legacy for our family and for my daughter. And, she's been a part of this thing for most of her life. And I do not want her to lose that. I think that, I know that my father owns a company, and my grandfather owned a company. And, when my grandfather sold it, even though I didn't work in the business, and actually at the time I lived in a different state, it literally shocked me, and I felt uneasy about it. I felt like I lost part of my legacy, right? Even though that was just my grandfather. when my dad, it was mentioned to me one time that my dad sold his company, and it really shocked me, and I really felt like I lost part of my legacy. And even though like I'm not really a part of that company or gonna inherit it or anything, but my dad really just had only sold parts of it, and still continues in that today, and even sold other parts of it, and still continues, just rebuilds it up and goes on. But so I don't want to do that. I want to give my daughter a legacy, and maybe that's your purpose or your reason for being in it. So I've come back to earth. But saying that, going back to why this started in the first place, and how that it was that you really just need to stick to one thing when you're starting out, because if you can put all your effort into just growing that one thing, right, that one thing, then the likelihood of your success is just off of the charts, right? It's just off of the charts. There's no there's no fallback, there's no net to catch you. You're just you got an idea, and most ideas will work, folks. The reason why things fail is because we give up on them. We don't give enough time to it, or we don't do the right things. Most ideas, if you get a good idea, right, then there's somebody like you that thinks it's also a good idea. It will make it. It will grow. Now, there are some things that are destined to fail, just depending on how big you want them to grow. You got to understand, obviously, what's your market, who's your buyers, are there enough buyers? Is it sustainable? Is it something that you would only, although people would buy it, is it something that enough people would buy it, you could have other people do the work, or are you always going to have to do the work? Things like that. Those circumstances all come in. So I'm not going to say everything works or everything makes sense, but most things can work. If you figure out in the beginning that, obviously you can build a business without you having to work in the business at some point, and you can, make money and have employees and all that stuff, and it's a need that needs to be filled. And so that's going back to what I really want this content to be about today, is going to one thing, and I'm going to do that. So it's building it's day 12 of building the business, and I'm going to put all my effort, even though I have all of these other things, right? I'm going to have a main focus, right? Everything else is going to get I'll keep my rentals going, obviously, because I have to do that. But I've been doing that for years while working a full-time job and doing other ventures. So, I've got that pretty much on coast, even though I could build and grow that exponentially if I put all my effort into just that. But for now, what I'm going to do is, I've got a strategy, and I'm going to put all my effort right this moment into building my MVP Pro service, because I think it is a prerequisite to, building a rental management company where I manage other people's rentals, because maintenance is a big issue, right? And if you want to run a vacation rental company, maintenance is going to be right up there with one of the top things that has to be handled to make it successful. So that, and a maintenance service like this one, is a hedge against slow seasons, bad times, things like that, where maybe the economy's down. Maintenance services are recession proof, in that everybody always needs some sort of maintenance. So I'm going to focus all my eggs in that basket, and I'm going to build that until I can get me a number two. I'm going to get me a number two, and that can take over that and run that for me, and then I will go on to the next phase, which is going to be to build out the vacation rental part of this, managing other people's vacation rentals, while continuing to build this channel. I don't know where this channel will go or how it'll be monetized or any of that at this juncture. So I'm going to kind of put this not on the back. I'm going to keep making videos and adding content and stuff like that, and try to bring you guys value. But more than likely, you're just going to get entertained by me, and you're going to see where I go with this business and the decisions I make. And I think one day I'm going to wrap all of this up, and this won't be available for free anymore, because I think this is going to be very valuable to someone else building a business, as they see the things that I went through to build the business, and the advice and things that I'm going to give. So if you're getting to watch this for free right now, thumbs up, you're doing good, and hopefully it's helping you and you're getting value, or it may be free forever. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But listen, so here's the value for today. Building a business is, these stages. I must get leads, right? So I have to have a automated way or some sort of way to get consistent leads for my product, right? I have to know the pond to swim in. So if you've selected a service or a product of some sort, you've got to know who's your customer, who's your buyers, how do you find those buyers, are they readily available? And generally, if you've decided you've got some sort of product or service that fits a need, right? And if you're in the vacation rental industry, you obviously, it's easy to find, your buyers, right? So you've got something that's a needed service. If you're managing people's vacation rentals, if you're cleaning them, if you're doing maintenance, if you're doing all kinds of different things that you can do for this industry. So if you're doing one of those, then you know where to get you. But you need a consistent way to get your leads. And then you need a method, a funnel method of being able to funnel those leads in a consistent manner. Like everybody needs to get, it can't be just, you need a consistent manner of funneling your leads from a contact from that lead to all the way through your system to where they're actually paying you money for your product or service. What you don't do is put a sign out on the road, right, somewhere about your service. Say you're doing lawns, right? And you're going to go throw a sign out that says, call Tony's Lawn Service, 865-777-7777. And then that's your phone number. And your plan is that, somebody calls you and you're going to answer the phone and you're going to be like, "Hey, it's Tony. Oh, you need some lawns. Where are you at? Where are you located? Oh yeah. And that's your plan because what if you're mowing a lawn? What if you're mowing a lawn? What if you can't? What if it's Sunday when you're at church? What if you're out to dinner and it's Friday night, right? What if you're sleeping? What if I decide that I need lawn service at 2 o'clock in the morning and I want to figure it out and I'm going around and, it's like, this guy, he's just got a phone number, but these people, they got a whole thing. I can just sign up online and it's a done deal and I'm done. I got somebody I know is going to show up. People love that. Like right now, that is the world we live in. Somebody would rather, I'm telling you right now, they don't need to meet you or anything. You are your website. They would rather hit your website, search for you, see your reviews, your ratings, what other people say about you, get onto your website and go through a system where they can literally choose the time when their lawn is going to be mowed each week and pay with a credit card right there, and it just be an automatic process with a guarantee and a thing that they can cancel anytime that they want. Or they can choose, it's just one time. Hey, I need you to mow my lawn this week. Bam, show up. They would rather do that than call you on the phone and you be like, hello? And you're like, yeah, is this the guy off the sign that does the lawn mowing? Yeah, that's me. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. I need to. I was wanting to get my lawn mowed. Yeah, where are you at? It's just not a consistent, if you want to build something, you need to build a consistent experience, right? From getting the leads, a consistent experience for your customer, right? You need to be able to get consistent leads, put them through a consistent sales funnel to where they can purchase your service or product, and then you need to service it. Then you need to take care of the service, and it's got to be good, and you need to set it up to where that person can then review how that service went. And you need to put a guarantee in there. I'm telling you, I promise you, you need to guarantee what you do. And you'll be like, I ain't guaranteed, because then everybody's just going to complain and I'll have to give everybody's money back. Look, anybody knows that has been in business for any amount of time that people in general are not just going to complain to get their money back. We all have a conscience, right? Now, some of us don't use that, and there will be some people, you might run into the one that will just complain just to be able to get their money back. You know what? I call that marketing dollars. Just give them their money back, because what they're going to do is when you give them their money back, they're going to go give you a 5-star review. And I would say, listen, I'm going to give you your money back, but what I want to see first is this is conditional on you giving us a 5-star review, because we did exactly what we said we were going to do. They give you that 5-star review, you give them their money back, and then that has helped grow your business. Now you consider that money marketing dollars, because every one of those 5-star reviews and glowing review of you is going to get you more business, way more money than they got guaranteed their money back, right? On a $30 lawn, right? And then you don't have to come and do their lawn again, right? It's like, once I've given you a refund because you complained, I'm not servicing you again. Go find the next chump, right? Or you didn't like my service enough, so, or you may not do that. Maybe you'd be like, hey, listen, you can come try my service again, but the next time they complain, you'd be like, listen, you can't just come use our service, not like it, you didn't like it last time, you chose to come back, so, but that's the thing. But, so get your consistent leads, get them a consistent funnel, and there's companies out here, companies out here that'll get you leads, companies out here that'll create you a funnel. Will help you to set up the service where you can get reviews. All of that, we have all of that technology today. The world has changed, and you have to get on board with that, right? I know that you may mow lawns, you may do maintenance, you may be in the vacation rental industry, right? But that doesn't change what people expect in today's society. Now, there are people you will get, and I'm telling you, most of the people will want the technology route. Like, I'm in vacation rentals. 99.9% of my guests want to go on to my direct booking site or to an OTA like Airbnb or VRBO, and they want to instant book. They want to look at the pictures, they want to look at the reviews, and they want to instant book my property. They want to see automated stream of communication coming to them, and then they want to, come to the property, stay, and leave, and they never want to speak to me. They never want to talk to me. All they want to do is they want to be in a well planned out experience for them, like that was created for them, so that they can do their, that they can have their vacation. That's what I prefer when I go on vacation. But there is 1% of people, like I got to return a call right after this video today. There's people that are going to call you on the phone, and they just can't help themselves. They're going to send you an email. I've got, folks that, rent from me year after year after year, and, they just refuse to go book it for themselves. They want to send me an email, or they want to call me on the phone, and they want to be like, hey, do you got such and such available? Or they want to text me, because they have my personal number. It's like, that's okay. There's going to be those. But that's about 1% of the people. That's not how everybody wants to consume your product or service. So make sure you get your product set up so that you can, you want to get this whole system set up. Make sure you have have this set up in the beginning. And if you're running a business today and you want to improve it, set these systems up today. Have a way for people. Look it up online. There is softwares out there that you can do this, right? Get ways where you can get reviews. Get them to go to Google. If you don't have anything else, send them a link to Google. Send them an email. Set up an email funnel. Go to, there's all kinds of different sites where you can set up like email campaigns and stuff like that, where you can like kick off how the things happen. If you're in the vacation rental industry, I highly suggest going to Guesty. And if you don't have a property management software, or you don't like the property management software you have, and it's not managing your communications well, go to Guesty. Guesty has a great way that you can set up a whole workflow of communications and how they go. And now they've just added AI, so like when people are messaging you from Airbnb or VRBO or whatever, it picks up on language that, it's like they were looking for early check-in or late checkout or whatever, and it just grabs, whatever your usual response is, it'll grab it and send it to them. And then you don't even have to do that, and that's automated. So spend time. I'm a big proponent. I used to tell my software development team, like, one of our big goals was every single week, automate 1 minute of your life. Automate every week. It's your goal. Don't leave the office for the week until you found a way to automate 1 minute a week of your time. And to be honest with you, it's hard to find just 1 minute, so you end up automating something that gets you several minutes in 1 week. But let's just say that you did that once a week for the entire year. You went on vacation even 5 weeks, right? So, you're 47 minutes. Now, I'm saying 1 minute a day. It's going to automate 1 minute out of your day every day, right? So, or even say your week. Like, if I got back 47 minutes a day or 47 minutes a week at the end of the year, that's a good chunk, right? And so if I'm working 40 hours a week, right, and I got 47 minutes of that time back, that it's like me working, but I can stand at the coffee cooler, right? Or the coffee cooler. I could stand, guys, we could stand at the coffee cooler. Have you ever been to one of those? That's the iced coffee. No, the water cooler, I can stand at the coffee cooler and talk now. But now if I worked at that company for 2 years, now I got 2 hours back in my day or my week, right? Or if I worked there 3 years, now I got 3 hours. 3 hours in my day or in my week. What's going to happen here? So you need to do the same thing owning your business. You always need to be automating. Always need to be automating. Automate. And man, with AI today, we have so much ways to do that. And the more you automate in your life, the more time you get back, the less stress you have, the healthier you're going to be, the happier you're going to be. You'll get to go fishing. You'll get to go play golf. You'll get to do things, I'm not saying take the human element out of it, because you need people working for you. And like I said before, if you got people working for you, be good to those people. Listen, get your system set up. Do it right. Do it right in the first place. And like I said, if you don't have any other way to automate it, send people a link to Google to review your business on Google. Get a review somewhere, somehow, some way. Go get you some sort of lead system, that you can consistently, whether you're doing paid ads, whether you're calling 100 people a week, whether you're calling 100 people a day, whether you're sending out 100 mailers, whether you're putting out 100 signs or 10 signs, whatever, maybe you have a sign route and you're just putting those signs out. You have got to get disciplined. You need a consistent way to get leads. And each way that you set up to get leads, make sure that it leads to something that you find, like, it leads to a different place, so that you know what actually works. Let's say that you're running a sign route and you're also doing paid ads, right? And on neither one of them, they're basically both the same thing. It's like, hey, go to such and such website or call this number, right? And you're getting calls and you're fulfilling these and you're running this sign route, and ain't one person ever called you off of that sign, or they're only calling you off the signs and all the paid ads you're doing because you didn't know how to set it up in the first place, and you've got it going to, you mow lawns in Knoxville, but your paid ads are showing to people in Pittsburgh, right? They'll never call you. They're like, I don't even recognize that area code. This guy can't mow my lawn. He's in Tennessee. So, so you're never getting any calls off of that ad, but you keep paying that $700 a month towards that paid ad because you have no clue where you're getting your business from. Coupon codes is the way to do that, right? You're putting out an ad, you're gonna have to give them some sort of incentive, right? You're not Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola can just do a commercial, right? But if you're not Coca-Cola and you're Spaz Cola, you might need to be like, hey, get $4 off per 12 pack, right? This week only. So same thing with your paid ads. You're not Coca-Cola. You can't just throw an ad out there to get recognition. You're not Buc-ee's, you're not Coca-Cola, you're not, Pepsi. You're gonna have to put your, some sort of coupon code or promotion, something, so at least you'll know where you're getting those people from, right? Same thing with your sign. Put that on the sign. 10% off with this code. Sign 02, sign AB, whatever you want to put on it, so that you can say, okay, well, if I want to know which of my signs are actually working, right? Like which areas, like I'm going to put some in this, I'm going to put some west of town, I'm going to put some east of town, I'm going to put some outside of Lowe's, I'm going to put some out of the mall, the restaurant, or whatever, right? I can use different coupon codes to find out where those people are coming from, and I like this new, and I'm going to give you this one for free, live chat. I called the other day. I was looking to get some coupon books to offer as part of an incentive to come down in the month of December because rentals were a little bit slow. And so I was going to do an ad, and I wanted to get some coupon books and that be a part of the thing at this at the Tanger Mall. Well, they used to sell these coupon books. You could go in and you could buy them right out of a vending machine. Well, my wife went down there. She's like, they don't have them anymore. And so I didn't believe her. So I drove through there myself, and I was like, well, I couldn't even find the bathroom or even find because they used to be in this little area where there's like this like information desk and a bathroom and like these vending machines and I was like, well, I don't believe my wife. So I was just like, well, I'll go through there myself. I'll find them. She don't know what she don't know what she's talking about. I'll find them, and I dropped through there, and I can't even find the information place where they had them in the first place. So that's how good I did. So I decided, well, I'll come home and I'll call. I get the phone number and call them. So I did that, and I call up on the phone, and it's like, hey, live chat with us. Nobody's available to take your call right now, but if you want to live chat with us, call this number, right, or text this number. And so I did, and I text that number and asked the question, and bam, like almost immediately I got a reply, and then a follow-up reply, and then and I was sitting there thinking, what they've done is they've led me to a number that then uses AI to be able to answer common questions, so that it takes some of the customer service off of them. And that's a great idea. You can do that same thing. You can have people call, and if they call your regular number, you can lead them to a different number and say live chat instead of text. To live chat with us, text blah 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 blah, right? And then have them something like Ninja Number or Intercom or something like that. They got all kinds of different ones that can do that for you, and that's an excellent way to fulfill some customer service parts. But get your lead system. Make sure that you're tracking your marketing. Make sure you get consistent. You need to be able to, if you really want to build a proper business and understand cash flow and how you're going to build and what you're going to be able to do next year, right? It's like, how many people do I need to add next year? How much income are we going to make next year? Blah, blah, blah. If you want to be able to do that, you need to know, like, well, I get 1,000 leads a month, and of those 1,000, I am able to convert 500 of those leads and into actual sales or business, right? So you can know that, and their average ticket is $250, right? Now you can take 500 times 250, bam, there's your revenue. That's what And then maybe if you already have consistent income, depending on what your business is, right? You can predict, you can predict pretty accurately, budget-wise, what your budget needs to be for the next year, because, and it's like, well, if I'm consistently getting, 1,000 leads with this ad spend, and we really need to get a new building or warehouse or whatever, and that's going to cost this much money, then I know, well, I got to get this many more leads so I can convert this many more. We got to add another person. And if we want to make this money, you can figure that out and say, okay, I need to increase my ad spend by this much. And if I'm getting, and the contrary could be true. If I am getting too much business, I'm growing too fast, doing too much because it's just too much, and that's not what we want to do. We can lower our ad spend. We can do less. We can put out less signs. We can do things like that to kind of lower our output. Because, and I know you might say, Anthony, why would somebody not want to grow? Oh, there's all kinds of reasons why somebody would not want to grow and gets comfortable where they're at. And I'm a big proponent of that. Folks, when you're comfortable, when you're happy, life is about happiness, right? And if you're happy, well, life is not 100% about happiness. So I don't want to get into a bunch of philosophy, because that's not what this show is about, and this is not what this channel is about. There's channels for that. I got a channel for that. But listen, it's okay. Let me just put it that way. If you're happy with your life, and you can go out and play golf and go fishing or go shopping and go on vacation and do the things that you want to do, your family's taken care of, and you've had, why push it to the absolute limit to grow? That's not necessary, right? It's not necessary, because the more you do, the more miserable you may be. Right? So the whole idea is to, being an entrepreneur, is to be able to get up and do the things that you want to do each day and be happy and be able to buy more time back. So one, you're trying to build a business that doesn't require you. The only way you can do that is by building a method to get consistent leads, putting together a sales funnel. There's companies that can help you with that. And then that converts those leads to sales, and then in some sort of automated fashion that doesn't require you. So if somebody at 2 a.m. wants to get a lawn mowed, bam, they've got a way to do that without you being involved. I wake up in the morning and I see how many people booked overnight, right? It just pops up on my phone, And I remember when I was working, and I just started that, and I was working, and I would see these bookings coming in all day long while I was working, and I'm like, man, I've already made more in bookings today than I'm making working here, and that's just an awesome feeling to have, knowing that, it's just all these things, and it's coming in, and it doesn't even require me to do anything, so that's a real benefit to what we do here. So build that system, and then make sure your service is absolutely above board and excellent. You need to, whether you're in the vacation rental industry, whether you're in lawn maintenance or pressure washing or whatever you've decided to do, make sure that you are striving for 5-star service, doing the very best that you can do. Because I tell you what, that's something that we've lost in this society, folks. Nobody cares. You go into a fast food restaurant, it's like they'd much rather throw the food at you and not even look at you, and nobody cares. And it's such a breath of fresh air whenever you do walk into a place, and the person that's waiting on you is like, hey, how are you doing? It's a great day. What can I get started for you? And they service you, and then they go and do it, and they hand it to you, and it's like, have a great day. And you can tell they're like, I'm working, I gotta work, everybody needs to work, I'm doing this, I like it, it's good, I can do it, bam, and service with a smile. And when somebody, you say you're gonna do something, do it. We've lost that in this society. We need to go back to that. We need to train our kids in that. Our kids need to be working at a young age, and and we teach them, you do your best work. Do your best work. Stay in the field till 5 o'clock. There's a story I might tell you. One time I heard about staying in the field. And I still use that. I heard that story. Well, let me just tell you now. So I heard this story one time about a guy that owned a farm. And one of his oldest sons, also worked in the field and had, on the farm and all that good stuff. And then there were some younger, I guess his younger brothers, younger siblings or grandkids or whatever, that were in the family, and they wanted to work. They were like, "Oh, daddy, grandpa, can I go work on the farm?" They wanted to work out in the field, and they wanted to work on the farm. And the dad told them, the main guy that owned the farm, he was like, "Yeah, son, take them out, but do me a favor, keep them in the field till 5 o'clock. Keep them in the field, no matter, because they're going to get out there and they're going to whine and they're going to cry, and they're going to have fun for a minute, but I want you to keep them in the field till 5 o'clock." And they did. The kids went out and they were, like kids are. They get out there and they're having fun for a minute, and they're doing their thing, and they're weeding and they're doing the hay and all this stuff, and and it was fun for a minute, but then they started getting bored, and then, by lunchtime they were just like really over it, but then they had their lunch, and then they kind of got excited for a little bit, in the afternoon, but then, by 1:30 they're both over it, and they're both ready to go into the house. And, the oldest son, he's like, "No, guys, we're going to stay in the field. We got to work. We got to work today. We're working. And kept them in the field till 5. And then when dinner came, right, they're all sitting around the dinner table, and the kids made it. They lived through it. They didn't die or anything. And they're all sitting at the dinner table, and, the father looks at the kids and said, "All of this that you see, all the fields that we have, and this house and this dinner table and the food that you see on it, that is because we learned the value of staying in the field. We stay in the field. And that's how we were able to get all of this and keep all of this and maintain all of this by staying in the field." And I still use that today in my mind whenever it's 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock, and I don't got a boss sitting over me like, "Hey, you gotta," like I if I wanted to, I could just go, I could go take a nap, or I could go watch TV, or I could do something like that. But I'm always like, "Tony, stay in the field. You need to stay in the field. You need to get it done. We got stuff to do. I need to stay in the field." Because I don't work for anybody, but I work for God, and I want to show God that I deserve to be in the business that I'm in, that I deserve to have the things that I have, and I'm thankful for all of the things that I have. And I want to teach my daughter that, when it's time to work, we work, and we have what we have because her dad stayed in the field. And when she gets old enough and I give this over to her, I'm going to want her to stay in the field for her kids, and to show her family and her kids or grandkids or whoever the value of good, hard, valuable work that's done with a good conscience, and is done for the value of other people, not just to make money. Because this is not all about money. It's about your character, who you are. Go out there, stay in the field, find you a valuable service, and then when you're given the privilege of providing that valuable service for somebody else, do the very best job you can, that you are trying to get a 5-star review every single time that work is done. And if you own the company, everybody require that of every single person that works for you. They need to know, and I'm not talking about being a slave driver. If they come to work for you, you require excellence. Make sure that they know when they come to work for you that, look, guys, you can work anywhere. I'm not going to be the hardest, I'm not even going to be hard on you. It's an expectation. I require excellence. People make mistakes, and I'm not saying perfection. Excellent, your best. I want you to give it everything that you got when you come to work, and I want you to do the very best that you can do. And I don't mean if you're tired, you go take a nap, and I'm going to be like, oh, you should be taking a nap. I paid for 8 hours. I should get 8. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, whenever, you're cleaning a cabin for me, and you see a piece of trash on the sidewalk as you're walking out, excellence means you stop and you pick that up, because you know that is what we should do. We are trying to provide an excellent stay for our guest, that you do it perfectly, and you don't look at something and be like, man, that sure is dusty. It'll be all right. I don't have to do that. That's deep cleaning, right? That's not excellent. Right, I require excellence, because I give my best, and so I want people to give their best, and that's the only people that I'll have working for me. Period. People that will give their best and do their best. They don't have to be perfect, because we miss stuff, but I need people to try. You need people to try. You do your best. I've rambled on. I hope that was entertaining, and we'll get together again tomorrow on day 13 of Building the Business. I will be today working on a little bit of my website. I hope I'm getting there on the landing page for the MVP Pro service. But I've also got a little job I have to do for a neighbor today that I agreed to do. So I'm going to go work on that, and I got to go inspect a couple of cabins, because our inspector is sick today. So I got to go run to Pigeon Forge and do that. So big day ahead for me, and I will see you guys again on day 13 of Building the Business.